Okay. I should be able to get there easily.
Fantastic. Now the question is, are we live? It says
How many
live.
penises do you have?
I'm going to assume we are live.
Me too. Hello, world.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We'll just wait for a couple people to get in here. I'm going to share this with our universe. It's set to private, isn't it? This is kind of a new YouTube. Since I last streamed, YouTube has changed some things. How do I edit?
Mm-hmm.
Stream settings. Edit. We want to go live. Public. Done. Save. Now we should be set to public. Just triple checking. Why? Oh, why? Are you guys seeing the live stream on your end?
Let me go check.
Oh, yeah. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Boom. Give the proper live link. I don't know why it's not showing the...
I see your Discord on the YouTubes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just trying... I don't know why it's not showing the, like, YouTube live thumbnail thing. But, oh well.
Oh, I saw it.
Sweet.
On YouTube, I see it.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, today we're doing a recap of 2025, sharing some memories, sharing some trials, tribulations, some wins. We'll talk about what we have coming up. In the immediate future, this Saturday, we're going to be in Washington, D.C., and we'll be featuring a debate between none other than two-time Pangburn stage champion by someone's measurement, I'm sure, Dinesh D'Souza, going head-to-head with Destiny, Stephen Bonnell, who we have had on the anti-Trump debate tour this year. And I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be as interesting, electric, inspiring, frustrating as Alex O'Connor versus Dinesh D'Souza. So I'm looking forward to that. The Alex O'Connor Dinesh D'Souza discussion just reached 1 million views a few weeks back, and I'm hoping this one will have that much impact as well on our channel and on the intellectual zeitgeist. So that's going to be, Don, I think we need to at some point get a quick Q&A, even if it's on a cell phone in with Dinesh on Saturday. And just,
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great.
I just want to I want to get him on record as to how he felt or feels about his conversation with Alex O'Connor, because I think a lot of people would be interested
I
in
also just want to point out that Dinesh really does make viral, like, legendary conversations, whether it's Hitchens, Dillahunty, O'Connor. Dinesh has the ability to simultaneously, if you agree with him, love and think that he's great at everything he does, and if you disagree with him, you think he's just so wrong. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I actually, personally, I really like Dinesh. I can see why Hitchens was a good friend with Dinesh, because I mean I never met Hitchens either, but Hitchens seemed like a pretty cool guy, great thinker, rhetorically one of the most gifted speakers I've ever heard, and I actually think like Dinesh, despite us having fundamental disagreements epistemologically and morally, because he derives his moral standards and uses the Bible as a moral object. Despite us disagreeing there, I actually think Dinesh is rhetorically, interesting, and effective, especially to people who value highly what he has to say. Like I think it's important to be able to put yourself on the other side and be able to appreciate the reason why someone like Dinesh is not only like epistemologically convincing to them or morally convincing to them, or but also like rhetorically convincing. I think it's very low resolution to simply dismiss people like Jordan Peterson or Dinesh D'Souza because you disagree so heavy-heartedly with them on so many different things, and just say they're a retard or whatever, and not being able to appreciate the intellectualism that doesn't run in the same direction as what you think is right in the world and what you think is good in the world. So I think that's important.
Yeah. So one thing, Travis, on the stream, can you close that little window that has like, what do you want to do next on it?
Yes, I will.
In your Discord.
There we go.
And the other thing is that someone commented that they wouldn't be surprised if we're rooting for Destiny. For us, I'm not seeing this debate. Like imagine like Dana White puts two fighters on stage because they think they're gonna have an entertaining fight, and they go, well, you're definitely rooting for one fighter over the other. We're not. The point is to put on a good show that has, as Travis always says, moments that cascade through generations. Dinesh D'Souza is a voice that has cascaded through generations. He has been at the forefront of this for a very long time, and Destiny is new. And if you watch the Destiny tour, right, the debate Destiny tour, there have been moments where Destiny really failed in his argumentation, whether it was his abortion discussion and his veganism discussion.
Yeah, it was interesting to see like when issues of meta-normativity, issues of meta-ethics start being bagged into the conversation. It seems like that's where Destiny needs a lot of development, and that was kind of the theme that you and I, Don, talked a lot about after his discussions, specifically when debating higher order, higher resolution ethical issues that called for him to show how he had a better or more stronger grounding morally than someone like Donald Trump. Like, how are you different than Donald Trump if you're just going out and murdering animals too? Like that was the angle on the anti-Trump tour that a vegan brought to the table, and that there's a lack of philosophical chops there that are required to robustly, whether in common language or in scholarly language, deal with meta-ethical and meta-normativity issues.
I think that a big part of it is that when you hear those arguments, it's for someone who already understands the difference between going around and like eating animals versus Donald Trump abducting immigrants off the street or bombing boats in the Caribbean. That's fine. But when you don't have the ability to articulate that, explain why that's fallacious, break the equivalence between those two things, right? That's a hole in your ability to debate and your ability to have a conversation on these topics.
And also, if you are like me and believe that fundamentally what we are doing as human beings are feeling our way through all of these experiences, including how particular ideas make us feel. I think the whole ethical journey that we're all on is all it all grinds down to how our biological stuff interacts with the with our experience as we move through our various environments, and ultimately there's going to be a sentiment born out of all of this stuff. And I even if you are to articulate that, well, I mean, fundamentally Donald Trump's doing the same thing as me ethically, but so are you, Mr. Vegan. Being able to articulate that so people clearly understand where you sit, ethically at your foundation, that's fine, even if that does show that, yeah, we're all equivalent at that level. So the vegan doesn't get away, but let's go to where the vegan, Donald Trump, and Destiny delineate from one another and why. But if we really boil all that down, we're going to get down to, I think, down to talking about our pleasure or desire, drive, or whatever you want to call the thing that ultimately makes decisions for us. Someone says trans and Trump are two topics that have split reason with this channel. Trans and Trump. Interesting. Cool.
Would you say, comical, that this channel has Trump derangement syndrome and believes in the fiction of like gender or trans people? Is that the angle you're coming from? Let us know.
Yeah. It's an interesting comment. I'd like to hear more. But yes, we first of all, before we get into reflecting on our touring around the United States this year and the many adventures that we all had, we are doing the 6th annual Day of Giving at Pangburn on Christmas Day, as we always do. If you want more information on the Day of Giving in general, you can go to pang-burn.com/philanthropy, and you're going to get more information there. There's also a link to the GoFundMe for this year's food giveaway that we're doing. And for those of you who don't know, I have recently moved and relocated to Oaxaca, Mexico. And in my local community here, there is a shelter and home, and I would say education center for special needs adults. It's called Accept Me As I Am home, Accept Me As I Am, Casa Hogar Accepteme Como Soy. And on the link I just gave you, you'll also find a link to their website. They also have a little YouTube channel, which you can find on their website as well. But this facility does a really good job. I had the privilege, it felt like an honor, of walking the facility with the founder just a few days ago, and I was blown away at the great work that they are doing in a climate here that is just slowly getting moving in the right direction when it comes to the well-being of special needs people. If I had to kind of do a very general, loose comparison, which the founder somewhat agrees with, is that they're kind of where the United States and say Canada were about around the 1970s. That's kind of where they are in their development. Yeah, it's pretty awful. Like, there's not a lot of resources. There are people that this home has rescued, that, special needs individuals who are being forced to live under, little teepees or huts or little pieces of tin garbage, being chained up, and when this is investigated, they ask, well, why did you chain them up? Because they don't listen, they don't shower, and these are people that need round the clock, hands-on care and a specialized kind of education. So there are some really inspiring stories. And again, you can read some of these stories on their website. The facility is great. It's old. It's worn down. But it's functioning well. They need a redo of all their bathroom facilities. They need a lot of help. This year we're going to go as far as helping with their heavy food bill at the facility, which is going to lighten the load. They have a lot of staff. When we were there, I think they had like 8 or 10 staff working, and a lot of those staff are working around the clock. So it's there's 19 live-in people who do live in the facility. It's quite a large facility, and then there's many more, probably 30 or so that are this is kind of a daycare center for them. So yeah, there's we are going to we're putting together as much scratch as Scott would say this year to get a whole bunch of food together and bring it down to the shelter on Christmas Day. If you can throw just a few dollars our way for this effort. I like to call these great works, because I feel like every time we do this, we have created a great work in history. We've donated up to about 40,000 meals in the past 5 years on Hastings Street in Vancouver. And now that I've relocated to Oaxaca, Mexico, we've found a new target here. So please do support us, and we will. I'll probably release this as a clip, just so it gets more traction.
Yeah, so click the link and spare a few dollars, even if you just spare $1. Like, what we don't understand is that pesos to dollars is a big difference, and every dollar there matters a lot more here than whatever you would spend on a cup of coffee there can somewhat feed someone for a week.
Yep.
So please, a single dollar will help a lot.
Yeah. $4 US can make a pot of good, hearty, healthy soup to feed 10 people. A meal that's $4 US. So just to put that into perspective of how far, $4 US can go. So there's that. We already talked about, we got the big event coming this Saturday. Don here is going to be there with me again. We just we're on the West Coast war front on the anti-Trump tour together, which was a lot of fun, and we'll get into the details of that. I'm interested to hear Don's reflections on how he felt about going on that adventure.
Fuck Phoenix.
Yeah, fuck Phoenix. And then we also have on the books February 28th in London. We're coming back to London, England. We're coming overseas again. We haven't been back since Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris, part 4 at the O2 Arena. We haven't been back to London since. So this will be, Pangburn coming back to London. It'll be a lot of fun. And of course, this is going to be a debate between Destiny and Konstantin Kisin of trigonometry. So we are really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be an incredibly important discussion between those two. Dinesh and
I think it's going to be Destiny's top. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Dinesh and Destiny as well for different reasons, but this one in particular, because of their age, the demographics they're speaking to, quite similar, I think. But yeah, go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Destiny's toughest debate/discussion.
Yeah,
I think Konstantin Kisin will not be easy for Destiny to whiz around. He's not someone who gets eaten up by rhetoric at all. If you watch any of his discussions or his interviews, he'll ask the same question and go back to base one over and over and over again. And that's a tactic that's not easy to do. And if you're not ready for that, I know there's many people who come in through this Discord, many professionals we've had on in our conversations. Thomas and I would have many professionals in the call-in day come and do a podcast with us. And even throughout the Pangburn pantheon, when someone doesn't drop a specific point, it's hard to deal with if they feel like they have the winning hand.
Yes.
And Constantine knows how to do that very, 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 very well. And what I anticipate is that Destiny will do what he usually does, which is just, yeah, I agree. He'll just kind of try to move forward with that. But I think what Constant is going to do, he's going to ask him, okay, why do you agree?
Right.
He's going to try to push him to understand his rationale behind the agreement. And for the sake of argument, Destiny isn't just going to agree, right? He's not going to let him do that. He's not going to let him agree for the sake of argument,
right,
which is one of Destiny's strongest rhetorical moves.
Yeah.
If you watch Destiny, that is his strongest rhetorical move. Yeah, I'll agree, because he knows that this point is kind of trivial for his overall argument. Right. But I don't think Constantine's going to let him do that, because he's not going to let him make his argument. He's going to force him to go point by point and try to build his own argument. It's going to be difficult. It's definitely going to be a difficult discussion.
Yes,
for Destiny to handle.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's I think Destiny's going to be really good at holding Constantine's feet to the fire, getting down to the why do you feel this way? Not just I think he's going to push him really hard on his political opinions and to see if they are rational to his political purposes. I've noticed Destiny's been doing that a lot with speakers on the anti-Trump tour who seem to have a difficult time articulating their own moral foundation or wherever their moral calculus comes from, calling upon that and giving a coherent answer as to why this thing is better or more good or more righteous than the other. So when it comes to like issues like Destiny's been dealing with, like, well, you know, name one bad thing by your standards of bad about Kamala Harris, and how is that anywhere near as bad as the long list of things that we can look at related to Donald Trump. So I think there are a lot of conservative viewpoints that Konstantin Kisin holds and trumpets that's going to become a central focus of where Destiny wants to spend his time, seeing if these beliefs and are actually rational to his purposes, if he can articulate these purposes. So that's something I'm looking forward to in that discussion. And it's off the sales off to a good start. What
are your predictions for the Sousa Destiny discussion in 2 days?
I think it's going to be I think Dinesh is going to show up with ready for a fight.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's not going to make the same mistake he made with Alex.
And I think he is going to go for the jugular on Destiny, big time. And I think Dinesh is going to try to expose the quote unquote most immoral, degenerate side of any political, alignment, in that Destiny is the embodiment of that. And I think he's going to go full, what about Charlie Kirk? He's going to go full, what about all this other degenerate behavior you engage in? And how could you ever judge Trump? You have more You probably have just as many or more allegations as Trump has going on right now.
I mean, but that opens the door.
I think it's going to
Right,
get.
but that opens the door.
It does,
because then Destiny, Stephen might just say something. Didn't you go to prison?
Yeah.
Didn't you go to jail for
Right. So
financially lying?
I think that it's going to get personal, and I hope that as this gets personal, it stays in the good faith, helpful, passionate zone where we want to keep things, and also we don't get off track in addressing the Trump issues. I hope it stays in that line, which I think it will. I think it's going to get personal to some level, but I think because I set this format up because I think it's hyper simple, and it puts the onus on these guys in the moment to be the ones dictating the conversation. They each get to ask each other questions related to Trump, and there's going to be dialectic born out of those questions. So, I think it's going to be just, it's going to be explosive. So, and we're in Hook Hall, which is like this multi-purpose rental venue that also is a bar and restaurant. So it's going to be an interesting atmosphere. The bar will be open.
It's a bar and restaurant.
Yeah. And we know.
Is the restaurant going to open? No, right?
No. We're booked. We have it all booked out.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do know that whenever we have an open bar at, a bar that is open at Pangburn events,
bar that is open.
It does influence the audience participation as well. So it'll be interesting to see what role the fourth wall, the audience plays.
Thomas was there for Bronxlandia.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
well, I wasn't.
let's get into. I think we should start with Bronxlandia.
No, was that the first event? That was the second event of the year. That was the second event of the year.
The first event of the year was Detroit.
Yeah, first event of the year was Detroit. So yeah, we can talk that. We can go over Detroit first. Detroit with Rico, our very handy man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, we were in a Catholic. I think it was a Catholic school or a private religious school theater, with our Trump signs and the big red X over Trump's face.
Yeah.
And we had a really nice audience come out. We had, I think, 10 debaters sign up. It was a really cool, chill vibe, great venue. Everything was kind of there and set for us. It was a very simple event to kick off the anti-Trump debate tour. What did you guys think of it?
I had a wonderful time. But yeah, it was a really good start up to the tour. That's where we first met Jake, right? Is that his name?
Jake Var?
Yes.
Gentleman?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so he's been a recurring character now in the Pangburn sphere.
Yep. Yeah, he's had 2 debate performances, one in Houston, one in Detroit, versus Destiny, and he also connected us with Mr. Gibbs, who was Mr. Beef,
Mr. Meat.
Yeah, Mr. Beef in the Phoenix debate event, which was a lot of fun. That was a pretty popular discussion between them.
I remember the feeling after the Detroit event. We all kind of like sat around like, yeah, this format could work.
Yeah,
because that was the first time you've tried such a thing. It was the first time.
Yeah, never tried this format before. It's a new thing, and it works. And the thing I really liked about it too, and that I noticed throughout this tour so far, is that even though the debaters who sign up for the most part are Trump supporters, they intermingle and have a good time with everyone before and after the event. There's no like heavy-hearted animosity. There is some debate and and disagreement and whatnot, but everything has been really positive by a well-being standard when I assess the how everyone's treating each other at these events, and I really like that, and I think that's what's really going on in humanity. I think that is political realism is what we're seeing, is when people generally get along even if they disagree. And that sounds crazy to people who are stuck in their algorithms, getting pounded with like people screaming at each other at some crazy person's event who doesn't know how to like produce good faith, helpful discussions. They might get sucked up in that and think that, oh, it's so toxic out there. But no, I think the extremists are toxic, and I think the general consumer of politics is actually quite lighthearted and tame. But yeah,
no, I agree with you. I agree. I think when just looking at my own political journey, I think after these events began, my general demeanor towards Republicans and people who I consider not Republican, MAGA, Trump, softened. It softened a bit after this debate, because one of the things that it promotes is that usually when you look at random people talking to people on YouTube or on social media, it's either someone going and interviewing the radicals at protests, or it's like Jubilee or Step Over This Line,
at
where
these
people
protests,
have five or 10 minutes to talk to someone, and there's defensiveness, there is being obstinate about specific points. But when you're forced to sit in front of someone, in front of a group of people just listening to you, but it forces you to be a little more honest in many ways. And then you're sitting there for 5-10 minutes and Travis is not taking you off. He's like, keep talking. Right? You guys aren't actually getting into the depth of and he won't take you off until the depth of the conversation finished. That's what Travis does. So now you sit there and you have a conversation for 25-30 minutes with someone. Every time I've had a 35 to 40-minute conversation with someone, it was generally productive. If we couldn't make that productive, we would just sit there silently. But if we talked for 30 to 35 minutes, it was productive. And things change. You see people's opinions in real time change on stage, right? So,
yeah, that's true. I've noticed that for sure. There are, there is something easy about shutting someone down and turning the mute button on in the online debate world. That's not so easy when you're sitting in front of the human being in their full person. On a stage in front of an audience. It calls you to be good faith and helpful and care about their well-being. I mean, if you have an ounce of empathy in you, I think it's nearly impossible not to do this. This is one of the reasons why I think live intellectual discussions that include a fourth wall, include the audience, that include members of society there to hold you accountable on your behavior. We get the best examples, I think, out of how we treat one another. That's something I've come to adore about what we do on our stage. There are platforms out there that are doing this wrong. If any platform out there claims to be a neutral debate platform, you're being sold a hunk of shit. There is no such thing as a neutral debate platform. I'm sorry. Everyone's normativity is baked into everything that is going on. Never let someone sell you on anything when they say, oh, come to my platform. This is a neutral debate platform. Bull fucking shit. Do you know what that makes me want to ask? Okay, so that's like some kind of marketing thing. It doesn't satisfy me. What are you really about? I want to know when people say this, what are they really about? What are their minimum requirements for a fruitful dialectic? because they definitely have them. Do you know why? Because if I was to sign up and do a debate on these platforms and just start screaming into the mic and not let anyone speak, obviously I wouldn't be allowed. I thought this place was neutral. No, it's not. There are minimum requirements for fruitful dialectic that are being enacted that you're not being told about. So
past that, what if you're too docile on stage and you're just not emotive? You're speaking just like a robot. You're not really drawing an audience. Well, are you neutral about that?
Yeah.
So where does your neutral? And then the question is, you really have no political opinions? You will put up there someone who is literally arguing for two people disagreeing, right? They're having a debate, and this is the debate. You ready for it, Travis?
Yeah.
The debate is, did Hitler kill enough Jews or just the right amount? That's the question tonight we're debating.
right.
But would you be okay with putting on that debate?
Yeah, of course.
If it's a neutral debate problem.
Yeah, of course.
If you had an audience.
Yeah, if you have a neutral debate platform, yeah, go ahead. If it's a neutral debate platform, two guys want to argue whose shit smells better. It's a neutral debate platform. Are you going to pick that? No, you're not. You're not going to pick that to be a debate to put on your, because it's not neutral. A neutral thing is like an unowned piece of land that's sitting out somewhere where when you walk onto it, oh, this is neutral by the standards we are talking about here. It's like, this rock is neutral. It doesn't care if I beat someone to death with it or if I debate. So there is no neutral debate platform. Don't fall for that crap. It's a lie. Ask whoever's running any of these platforms, what are you really about? Like, tell me what your moral quest is. Tell me, what's really going on here. Some people might hide behind, by the way, the label of neutral debate platform, so they can put the really disgusting people on stage, people who really need mental health treatment, not a stage to be platforming their ideas about like marrying children, or like talking about how we ought to be going back in time where women are subjugated and things like this. There's a reason why you're constantly seeing those people on those platforms, okay? It's not because they're a neutral debate platform. It's because they like this kind of speaker. They like this kind of debate, these topics. The topics they bring up, there's nothing neutral about it. Don't believe it. But anyways.
I remember I had a teacher, a very wise teacher, asked the class one time to define to us what a computer is by telling me what it's not.
Right.
And there was kids in the class who really attempt to. Well, it's not a phone, and it's not alive, and it's not made of carbon. I'm like, but there's some carbon. Well, it's not entire. Well, they kept trying to define things by what it's not. When you say I'm a neutral debate platform, you're just telling us what you're not.
Right.
You're telling us I don't stand for anything. I'm a neutral. I'm Switzerland. This is World War II. I don't stand anywhere. I don't have my firm ground. I know nothing about you. I don't know what you are, what this is about, what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have to define what a computer is by telling me what it does, what its function is.
So
what do you do with it?
Hold these platforms accountable. Ask them what they're about. Hold their feet to the fire. So Detroit went swimmingly. It was great. The video turned out great. I love it. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on our channel. Then New York. So to begin with, New York was booked and locked in at a place called Queen's Theater with our beloved Connie. And we had this event, the anti-Trump debate tour, booked many months in advance, contract signed, everything. And when we all got to New York, we were having just a chill night, and we were hanging out with Don, Thomas, Scott, and some other people. And then at, I think it was 11 o'clock at night, I got a call. It was a call, not an email, right? No, it was an email. I got an email.
Oh my goodness. It was we were out on the yacht. It was like 9:30 p.m. and you get a call. No, an email. You get an email from Thomas.
Thomas's
well,
favorite.
actually,
You forgot her name? How'd you forget her name?
No. We weren't on the boat. We were pulling up to the house.
Yeah, we were
first.
at home.
Oh, yeah.
And Travis was in the back, and he picked it up. We hear the call, and he hangs up and goes, "Okay, code red."
Right.
It was Connie. Connie,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, code red.
Like basically the theater runner with Alzheimer's.
Right.
Sorry, Connie, if you're out there, go to the doctor.
It was terrible. But so what had happened is for the first time in at least 20 years, the Queen's Theater and the Queen City Park lost power. Now the theater lost power for the first time in 20 years, but Queen City Park has lost power before, but the theater had never lost power. So there's all of a sudden this power outage, unprecedented. And of course, jokingly, we're all like, yeah, Donald Trump called in a favor, got the power cut for the anti-Trump tour that's in his, hometown. But it wasn't
just Donald Trump. We also, talked about Mr. DP.
Oh yeah, right? Mr. David Pakman as well. We talked about, because David Pakman was scheduled to be on this event with Destiny in New York, and he backed out for reasons that he cited were to do with things he already knew before he signed the contract. So he had received a few emails from people who were pissed off that he was working with Destiny. They kind of mentioned to him, for these reasons, mentioned some things Stephen was going through with some allegations of whatever. You guys can look it up. And David backed out, but he was already made aware of this, the same stuff that he was citing beforehand. So it was weird, and yeah, it just wasn't a great thing. Anyways, we also joked about how maybe David Pakman went in incognito and cut the power
with the clippers just over there, like, looking around.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody sees me. I mean, it was a fucking coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that it would be that night.
Yeah. So the night before the event. So I said, Code Red, we need to find a new venue. We all just jumped into action, emailing, calling everyone we could. Then we sent out a bunch, and we were still like, I was pacing up and down the street. Thomas was on the phone calling. Everyone was around, like trying to make something happen. And finally, Don gets a call back from someone by the name of James. And he says, "Oh yeah, sure, you guys, come use our venue, but we don't have any chairs."
He called my phone, by the way.
Yeah, he called Thomas's. Thomas
I was
back.
Like, yeah, I was all over James from like the moment I found out that he was available. I was like, "Oh, James."
Yeah. So
we had to rent out chairs. And again, the event is the next day. Literally, the next day is the event.
Their capacity, and this venue is, we all know now, is called Bronxlandia. This venue had the legendary exact amount of seats available to how many seats we had sold. So I had to instantly get onto my website and shut down ticket sales, because ticket sales were coming in, because a lot of people just wait last minute. Unfortunately, buy your tickets early, people. But no, last minute, sometimes people all of a sudden can come. So they're trying to get tickets, and I shut it down, and I'm starting to get emails of like, wait a sec, what happened to the site? I was just booking an email. I was just booking a ticket. What can I do? And I was like, we just lost it. You know, I didn't respond right away because we were still sorting it out. So we were still hoping that the Queen's Theatre power was going to come back on. So we had Bronxlandia now. We had James on hold. We knew that we were going to have to find a chair rental company. Thomas was hitting that up. And all through the night, I was keeping my eye and refreshing the Power Grid website that I was watching because it was all down. And I was even bugging them trying to get more information. I was like, yeah, how about that Queen's Theatre power outage? How's that looking? We have an event tomorrow. And people were like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they just, the communication from the power company was awful, but I know they're busy and whatever. What do they care about a little debate event? So yeah, I was waiting up all night and and into the morning, and there were a lot of discussions. We got, Thomas got chair companies lined up that we had to rent stuff from. We were going to have to rent a little supplemental audio gear. We have to transfer the merch from Queen's Theatre to our new space. We had to notify all the ticket holders. There was a lot of things.
Had to go put up those flyers at the Queen's Theatre.
You guys had to go.
I'm fucking telling you. I walked up to those fucking doors, and it didn't seem like the lights weren't on. Like it has like one of those electronic locks that the dude used. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
it was suspicious.
Unless it's like it was very suspicious.
It was very suspicious. So meanwhile, fast forward. We've made the decision. The Queen's Theatre isn't going to get their power back. We made the decision to go with Bronxlandia. We booked the chairs. We got everything together that we had to do, organize. We got to the venue, and the chairs just get dropped off. So and it was the hottest day wasn't it the hottest day in recorded history?
It was the hottest. It was one of the hottest days recorded in New York City since like 20 something.
Right. So
it was a hotter day in New York.
And this venue is like a tin can. So you're inside tin.
It is a tin can.
We were in an oven. So we were in this oven. There's no air conditioning. And so right away I knew that I was going to have to jump into action getting the chair set up while these guys ran other errands and putting up signs and stuff. And I was there with CJ.
I had to go get a bunch of merch stuff from the Queen's Theatre.
Yes. You had to do the merch pickup, which was a pain in the ass because it's like traffic and, all that jazz. And so CJ and I tag teamed the chair setup, 300 chairs. And I was down to skins. I was just bare chesting it while doing that, dripping in sweat.
So in Detroit, mind you, in Detroit, Travis comes to us with this Canada sweater. If you see him on stage, he screams, "This is a fucking invasion, bro!"
Yeah.
To a boot, whatever he does.
Yeah.
And he had this red Canada sweater, and we're in Bronxlandia, and he's like, I'm like, Travis, are you gonna wear that? He's like, I'm gonna wear it at every event. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wear the sweater at every single event.
Yeah, and
that was the last time he wore that sweater.
I think I made it 3/4 of the way through the New York event, but then I was pretty sure I was going to pass out, so I made a signal or send a text to these guys, and Thomas brought me a water, and also they brought me a merch shirt, so I threw one of the white merch shirts on to replace my hoodie.
Yes. Oh my god, dude! It was so fucking hot in there. It was beyond hot. It was like, dude,
ask
the hottest week in New York City of all time.
Yeah.
Well, for the last 100 years or some shit. I can't remember. Like, I looked on my phone and it was 111. Feels like 111 outside that day. And we were inside a fucking pressure cooker with no air conditioning.
It was brutal.
And 2 fucking fans.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. two of those kind of industrial box fans that were kind of pretty worthless. It was just blowing the heat back into your face, basically.
At that moment, I kind of asked myself, why be in a convection oven? Just make it a regular oven. Like, you don't need
Exactly.
to have a fan moving
The
the hot air
venue,
around back at me.
they should call the venue the Oven after that event. But yeah, Bronxlandia saved our ass though. Like, jokes aside, James and his partner and everyone at Bronxlandia are fucking amazing people. And they saved our ass last minute. Professional. They did really well at the bar because everyone was drinking because it was so fucking hot in there. So everyone wanted ice cold drinks. So yeah, no, that was we made it happen last minute with Bronxlandia. Everyone in the crowd, there was one person, I'm telling you, one person who emailed a complaint in out of everyone who attended. And everyone was so cool and so understanding about the last minute venue change. It was so nice. So yeah, and I think we had really good debaters. We were introduced to Armando, who was the red hat wearing, InfoWars t-shirt wearing, red mega hat wearing a red and InfoWars t-shirt wearing dude who also made an appearance in Seattle. And I sponsored his bus ride to Seattle because he really wanted to debate again. But he was supposed to debate in Portland, but his bus was delayed and he missed Portland and got rerouted to Seattle. So that he could meet up with us in Seattle. It was wild.
Armando, if you're watching, deodorant.
Yeah, deodorant on tour is a must.
It is must.
Then we moved down to Houston, Texas, which we ended up turning away. What was it? 3 guns at the door?
Yeah. 2 guns at the door, and someone with a knife.
Right. Someone with a knife, few guns at the door, just normal Texas stuff. We also had to change venues.
That was another one. Another venue change.
We also had to change venues last minute there. And this was for
Charlie Kirk.
Was it Charlie Kirk? Or was it
Charlie Kirk just
did
got
Charlie Kirk happen
shot
before Houston?
No, it didn't.
No.
It didn't.
No, Charlie Kirk happened before the West Coast. But it was that a board member stepped forward and said, we don't want this event here. And the person who I had been dealing with sent me an email basically saying we can't do the event here, and it's in our contract that we can cancel the event at any time for any reason, and which was true. And that really sucked. So, but we were able to find a venue at the Best Western. It was a conference room, and it worked out really well. And Thomas, you were there in Houston with us too.
I was.
It was hot.
It was insanely hot. Yeah, brutally hot. We were sweating our asses off walking down the street, basically delirious with no water.
Oh my goodness. I forgot that day existed.
Yeah, you and me and Travis, all 3 were like dehydrated, sweating from head to toe, and we were walking out in traffic getting yelled at.
Yeah. Wasn't I awake for like 40 hours at that point?
You had been awake for about like 38, I think we calculated, when I was starting to say, like, dude, I'm tired. And I just saw you like a ghost zombie, and I was like, oh, shit.
We also should mention that Dawn here was with us for the Detroit event as well.
Yeah, Dawn was.
That was the first Pangburn event Dawn has been to. Dawn, what was the experience like for you, if you're there with us?
I tell you, I really had a great time. Just like you mentioned, there was no animosity in the crowd among people who didn't agree with each other. They just didn't agree, and they walked away, and they're fine with that.
Right.
And I got to meet the 4 of you guys and CJ as well, and Scott. And
CJ.
It was sure great to meet you guys. It was after hanging out with you guys here on Discord for so long, and it actually happened right around my birthday. It was like the universe gave me a birthday present, and I got to meet my brothers for the first time. And it's been a wonderful year hanging out with Pangburn and going to the events that I can go to, and the ones that I can't go to, I definitely watch.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and it was great. And we got to we went to a bar, had some food and some drinks after. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
So it was nice to.
It was a lot of fun.
Do the social thing and have time with everyone. We were also.
It was. Heads up to the venues, though. If any venue owners are watching this, some of us can't walk, and it'd be really great if we could get into your establishment to spend our money.
Right. Hell yeah. That's true. I know most up-to-date venues, they try to make all the spaces wheelchair accessible. I know some of these old theaters, old venues are less accessible, but didn't we lift you onto the stage, Don, in the wheelchair?
Yes. Yes, at the end of the
I dreamt that.
I almost wish you had, because that was such a weird experience for me.
It was.
I've been on chairlifts before, but they were never human powered.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy who was a power lifter was trying to
he wanted
prove
to
he was strong and wanted to do it solo. And I was like, can we just not? Can we? And he just did it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I think he hurt his back a bit. I'm almost convinced. I'm almost convinced.
Well,
if you're watching this, you hurt your back. We could all see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm fat.
Yeah, thanks for the lift, but also think next time to employ some other help in the lifting. I think I ended up starting to help because he wasn't lifting high enough.
It was so surreal.
I don't want to crush his ego though.
Crushed.
Super crush. Yeah, so Houston, great. Then we get to the West Coast. Don, we did five dates in 7 days. That was it was an adventure, and we started in Phoenix. And we were in a church.
It feels like, first of all, I was gonna say it feels like a fever dream. It is simultaneously one of the most amazing experiences of my life doing a tour like that. Especially, I think Travis and I had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
And one of the most difficult and taxing things I've ever done in my life.
Right.
And it's not because it's physically exhausting, which it is.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're consistently it's because you're always solving a problem. Yeah. Guys, these events always have problems. Yes. There's always something going wrong. And it's not like, this is a small problem. It's an existential problem.
Right. Yeah.
From city to city, we've had consistent existential problems.
Yeah, so we got into Phoenix, and we're relaxing in the hotel. We're thinking, what should we do with our free day here before the event day tomorrow? And as soon as we settled down, Don's starting to get sick, but as soon as we settled down in the Phoenix hotel, I get a call.
Which smelled like piss.
It smelled exactly like all the piss. Like every piss that has ever been taken has been funneled into that room. And also the Uber driver was refusing to drop me off in that part of the city, which, by the way, after staying there, we kind of realized he was just being like, he must have had a terrible experience there or something, because it wasn't that bad in my opinion.
We've had some fucking Uber drivers, haven't we? What about that dude that night going like 97?
Oh,
like that?
Where was that? Was that in New York?
Houston.
That was in Houston. He was going like 100 fucking miles.
I was dying laughing at you on the back. Dude, I was dying laughing at you on the back. Y'all
felt us.
No, he was blazed. He was blazed. He was blazed out of his mind.
I was
going like 96 down the highway.
Ready to ride.
I felt like I was too exhausted to say anything, but I think I just took it.
Travis just put on his seatbelt and looks at me.
Yeah, that was sketchy. So yeah, Phoenix, and then we settled down. Don's already starting to get sick. This guy already freaked out, not wanting to drop me off in the venue. And then I get a call from the venue after I was joking about it with Don, of course. I was like, yeah.
No, Travis is like, oh yeah, they're going to cancel. They always cancel.
Give it time. And wait a sec. I'm forgetting something here. First Phoenix canceled 2 days before we left. The first Phoenix venue canceled 2 days before we left to Phoenix. And then I found a new venue pretty quickly, and it was in this really cool church that Ice Cube had performed at, like a very, very large, awesome venue, amazing lady who was helping. And then fast forward back to the hotel, she calls me and she's like, Travis, you won't believe what's happening. And I was like,
this is the LA venue. This is the LA venue.
No. This one is
it's the Asian lady. No, the Asian lady was fine.
Never mind.
No, they were fine.
The Phoenix venue was
Korean
amazing.
church was good.
It was the church.
You're right. It was canceled on you earlier, but then you went with the church. It was totally cool about.
Right. So the Phoenix church was fine. No, this is good, or else I would get this history wrong. That's true. The call we got in the Phoenix hotel was about LA, which was 2 days away. 2 days away.
Correct.
Because we had 1 day, I think, before
in Phoenix,
in LA,
we had
both in Phoenix and LA. Yeah, because we got to Phoenix, we had the rest of the day,
the evening. Yep.
Yeah, and then it was a show the next day, and then also stay with LA. Yeah. So, anyways, LA had called, and it was this like venue that Ice Cube had performed in and whatnot, but she had called
church in Glendale.
Yeah. And she called me back and said, she was like, you wouldn't believe the priest has spoken up and said that your event is not welcome in the church. And this is like, she's the one in charge of all the rentals and everything, but someone must have gotten them involved. And she said that this was really rare occurrence. She can't remember it happening before, but then we were out of a venue in LA as well. So then in LA, we were back and forth with so many different venues who were just like, yeah, I don't know about this. And then finally this film studio /bar / multi-purpose space was like, yeah, we're available. You guys can come here. And that one worked out really good. But the Phoenix venue, the church, was immaculate. And they said that they had a limited amount of sound equipment. That was like one of the most sound
the biggest
heavy
lies on the planet.
sound heavy, decked out venues ever. But they didn't really know how to communicate that, because I think they just recently started renting to outside groups. But yeah, they were completely decked out in Phoenix, and
the location was incredible. The location of that church is incredible.
Yeah.
But LA, and then we were trying to find, because that studio didn't have sound or lights. Remember, Travis? So we were trying to look for someone who had sound, and someone who could do lights for us. And we were getting these ridiculous quotes. Remember, this guy in LA was trying to charge $4,000.
I know.
And then I pushed on him, and he's like, "How about $1,500?" I was like, "Dude, you went from $4K to $1,500. You think I'm not gonna ask you to do this for $300?"
Right? Yeah. So yeah, we did have to rent. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, we didn't. No, on this one we didn't rent anything. In this one, we didn't have to rent audio. We ended up jerry rigging it. We ended up jerry rigging it with whatever it is. We had some audio rental equipment from this. Something.
Didn't we have
audio
to rent?
Rental?
Didn't we have to rent one mic stand in LA?
No, we had to rent. We had to rent one mic stand. Yes, and a few cables, a few XLR cables, or quarter-inch cables, and then you had like, oh, I have this magic cable that's supposed to work. Now this magic cable, we had the part in the church, and we just put that thing back on the shelf and didn't think about it. So remember, before the show, I had to sprint across the thing and try to go to the renter guy. It was a mess. Like I said, it was an absolute mess.
Don had to run
and I had
a
to
cable. Yeah.
I also set up, and I'm sick. I'm having a fever. I'm on Advil. I'm literally every night taking 4 or 3 Advil, or else I'm just like fevering in my bed. And I set up 250 chairs by myself. Had to collect 250 chairs by myself.
Yes.
I was an absolute beast.
Monster.
Yeah.
Beast monster.
You were complete beast mode for all of these I'm dying for all of these events. And that venue, the lighting wasn't very good, so we were trying to supplement with what they had there, but it wasn't really adequate, and the sight lines weren't great. We were already pretty packed in that room with how many people were there. Here's a funny story. What's that guy, Adam whatever, who has his own podcast that was there? He was sitting with...
I don't know. This guy had like a vlog or something.
Yeah, but anyways, he was sitting there with the guy. It was the black individual that got up and debated in LA. But he showed up wearing a Trump was right about everything shirt and a pro-Trump hat. And he wasn't signed up to debate, but I went by and I was like, oh man, you got to debate. You got to get up there. We'll make space for you. And he's like, no, I don't work for free. And I was like, fine. If that's what it takes, I would love for you to debate. Like, or he said that, and I like laughed. And then Adam, I forget.
You asked him,
what his name.
You asked him how much.
Adam said, no, $100. And then I pulled $100 out of my wallet, kind of as a joke, but also if he took it, I was like, fuck, fine. Another debater. I slapped it down and the guy took it right away. It was like, yeah, I'm a dirty capitalist or something. And like put it in his pocket. He's like, yeah, I'll debate. And I was like, okay, it worked out. And he ended up being one of the better, debaters of the night. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then we got.
And remember that the barbershop with the dogs.
The barbershop with the. Oh yeah, that was in L.A., right?
LA. That was a really cool place. Shout out to barbershop with dogs. Yeah, that is something that I think Listen, you're sitting there waiting, and then there's like these dogs around you coming, trying to get some sniffles.
Yeah,
wanting to play with toys. It was fun.
One of the dogs I was petting really needed a bath.
Yeah.
So like,
but otherwise,
everyone remember. Bathe and groom, brush your dogs. But yeah, I that's something that stuck out. But the little stinky dog. But it was nice. It was nice chilling with the dogs. Don got a fly haircut, and and we did the LA event, and then we knew that after that LA event, it was day after day. The events were one after another until the end of the tour.
Yeah. So the next was San Francisco.
Yes. Which was awesome. I've never been to San Francisco before. And I really like the city, really pretty city. I like that there's kind of the waterfront there, and our venue was right on the water. It's called the Bayfront Theater. And we met a few of our longtime Discord warriors, Fateh. Mm-hmm. Oh, we also forgot to mention we met in LA.
Right. El Rito.
El Rito, who actually also ended up helping a little bit too.
And he helped me with the chairs. He really, really helped me out. If it wasn't for him, that would have been an even bigger nightmare.
Yeah, we met El Rito, and he was really cool. We went for some tortas after, some Mexican sandwiches, and I think some tacos and some agua de fruta, and then we were on our way to San Francisco. Really cool venue. It was nice to be in a theater, hey Don, where the seats are already there.
I mean, listen, you had a great time at that theater. I was busy taping cables for the foreseeable future.
But you loved it. You found it.
And
you found it satisfying.
No, I don't. No, I don't. And then I ended up stepping on the power brick in the middle of the show. Remember that?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I was like, oh fuck, because do you know what really it wasn't that like mistakes happen and shit, but it was in the moment where Stephen was interlocked with the main pro-Trumper of the evening that I thought was like the going to be the main guy. So there's a snippet in the video where we lose video for a little bit. Luckily, we didn't lose the audio. But yeah, Don just foot slipped.
Then you see like my face just like, ooh, and I duck real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was good. And Don, by the way, did all the video switching on the tour. Did a fantastic job. Yeah. So in San Francisco was just great. I think that was the only night I had a couple drinks. Steven, I was bringing Steven the White Claws on stage per his demand, and I was having a couple as well mixed with my Monster Energy drink, which helps boost me. I think I'm going to do coffee from now on, though. I think those are way too strong for me. Like they make me very jittery.
I'm also that night was also a night where I'm like, I need Advil. I was sitting there at the switchboard, literally just like totally fevering out, just like
dying, literally dying.
Dying. I would end almost every night because I was breaking my fever and just sweating. Remember, I would be completely drenched, just water everywhere, every single night.
Yeah, it's because you were working hard too. So
getting me excited over here. Slow down, guys.
Don's sweaty Jewish chest just permeating the world. Yeah. Yeah.
So and then we went out to In-N-Out with the guys. I yelled at some homeless guy thinking he was Travis. And then
that's funny.
I very much look like a homeless guy when I'm lurking around.
Basically a homeless guy. I mean, pretty much. Come on.
And then we get notification that the Seattle venue doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Oh fuck! That whole fucking business.
And they don't have a mic. And they don't have speakers. They said they had a Bluetooth speaker.
They said they have a Bluetooth. They said they have a Bluetooth speaker that can handle the video.
Originally, you asked me. No, eventually you said they had a speaker, but it can handle the venue, and you're like, okay,
right,
guys. They had one of those like fucking toilet paper JBL bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was a piece of shit. But I hadn't seen. Like it took a long time to get like venue photos from these guys, and it was cool. We'll get to Seattle, but Seattle became an issue when Don says because we found out that they don't have Wi-Fi, and they were like, well, most people are fine just tethering, which in the end we did end up tethering because the fucking Wi-Fi unit that we spent like $400 on died after like 15 minutes of use. It was terrible, right? It overheated.
But with all due respect, I handled that, and we got every single ounce of our money back.
You did. You really did. That was nice. But yeah, that was unfortunate. It was so much work for something that never manifested, right? Like we had to
hours of research, hours of trying to contact people, and mind you, this is the weekend. No one and just no one rents these things. Nobody rents these things. It's not a thing that, and we had to overnight emergency ship it, because by the only time I could actually contact this company, it was Monday night, right? Monday night was the Seattle event.
Yes, or Tuesday night was Seattle.
Okay. We figure out that they don't have Wi-Fi Saturday night.
Right.
right? So now I can't contact anyone. Sunday, no one is working. Monday, while we're in Portland, I spent the whole day trying to figure out how we're renting equipment, from where we're going to get lights, where we're going to get sound equipment from, where we're going to get mixing tables from, where we're going to get Wi-Fi from.
And a lot of this was and a lot of this was last minute because we didn't have a lot of information from the venue. And as we were going on tour, especially in LA, the lighting in the video was not great. And so we wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. So we wanted to find good lighting instruments, and the tour had sold really well. After LA, there was this feeling I had where we could spend a little more money on better sound, better lighting for the upcoming events if we needed to make the videos a little better. And so, yeah, some of that stuff was hyper last minute, and Don took a lot of it on and was able to execute. And that's the live event world. It's just things will come up, and you gotta just make it work, because there is no, well, we'll just do this. We'll give ourselves a couple days to do this. No, the event is tomorrow, or the event is today. We need today. Whatever it's going to be is going to be today.
Whatever it's going to be, figure a solution out. Portland was one of, except for the Uber driver who also didn't know what deodorant was. I thought Portland was one of the better days.
Yeah, it was. Portland, we stayed right around the corner from the venue. That was nice.
Literally
just
around
like
the corner.
Walk around the corner. And
Diana, I thank you very much.
Yeah. We were renting we rented this like old traditional Chinese boardroom theater, which was very interesting. It looked very like governmental. Like it looked like a government building. So it kind of worked well for what we were about to do. One thing I noticed, though, security was, on our radar because of, the heightened energy around like danger at events like this because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. It was something we were considering to take a look around and see if there are any like additional, security threats or security concerns that we had in Portland. Something I noticed as soon as we got there, I sat down on the stage and looked out to where the audience was when we were setting up, and my eyes just gazed to this large bank of windows that was in perfect sight.
It was
with
eerie.
the roof on the other side of the road. So it would have been a perfect perch for someone to sit up there with a gun and shoot a speaker. Then security shows up eventually, and literally a guy who must have been the first Neanderthal on this planet. Like he looked stronger.
His forearm.
And I'm not talking about his with the intelligence of a modern day human, but I'm saying his physical makeup, his forearms were this big, covered in bristly hair. He walked like a fucking tank. Like this guy, it's even hard to describe. His skull looked bulletproof. Like I don't know what to say. Like this guy was an absolute machine. But when I pointed,
we learned from him that he ran the security apparatus for the FBI for a couple of years.
Right.
So
he did, yeah. So he was big time. He had guns on him. His partner had guns on him, and when I pointed out this issue, he said, thanks for pointing that out. If I see anyone up there with a weapon, it's over. And I was like, okay. I was like, good enough. And so they kept an eye on it throughout the night. But yeah, he was quite the specimen. And the venue worked out really well. It was really cool. A lot of old, interesting things in that building.
In the middle of the show, Destiny had to use the bathroom. And it was so backed up at the venue. Remember, I ran him over to our hotel room.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had to run him over to the hotel.
Oh, he took a bathroom break before the poster signing, right?
I think so.
It must have been before the poster signing. Yeah, because I was going to say I didn't remember him running off stage, but yeah, I think it was before the poster signing. Yeah, there was such a big line up for the bathroom that we had to improvise.
Now, Portland, when we went after the event to get subs, remember to get subs at that like place that was open till 2 a.m?
Yes. Wait,
guys,
subs?
Portland we ended up getting sandwiches because we were tired of burgers.
Dude, that was the best food we had. I forgot about the sandwich place.
That wasn't the best food.
It wasn't the best. LA was the best food. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was the best non-restaurant food we've had on the trip.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was craving a sandwich. That was like...
Yeah, because we've been just having burgers the whole time. We were so tired of it. We were collectively done with burgers.
Even for a dirty atheist like myself, that was a godsend.
Yeah. In Portland at night, it feels like you're like in an MMORPG where everyone thinks they're like a wizard character or something.
Yeah.
Like all of the homeless people there, they're so like not that, like they're just wacky.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very wacky city.
Very high levels of wizardry there for sure.
Yeah. And there's a lot of LARPing happening in the best possible way.
But I don't even think I'm not sure if we had a bad interaction with anyone on the tour, but everyone was very friendly in Portland. And yeah, it was cool. People were like, prepare to be shot or prepare to be attacked or robbed or, prepare to have druggies all over you and everything. And I've seen worse on way worse on East Hastings Street in Vancouver. So,
New York, there's nothing to worry about. No one harassed us. Yeah. Nobody bothered us. So,
yeah.
But what I can tell about what you just said is those are all liberal lies. Fox News is correct, and what your eyes are deceiving you.
Nope.
Yes.
Don't believe your lying eyes.
Oh, remember that small little shop, that like weeb shop we went to, the anime shop, and he made some.
Yes.
That was some of the best food we had on the trip as well.
What did we have again? We had ramen.
Mine. I had like rice with chicken in it. Like
yes.
Homemade, and you had some sort of like stew or something. What was it?
I think I had faux dents. It was rice with chicken and teriyaki or something. It was really good.
It wasn't bad. Yeah. And Portland was cool, and then Seattle happened.
Yep.
And we get to Seattle, and guess who's now sick? Travis. I'm no longer sick, but now Travis is sick.
Yeah, I'm sick at that point. So I bought a lot of Halls, and I was taking Advil as well. And Seattle was interesting. We were in a warehouse that was kind of like bare bones. But at that point, and we had rented equipment, and at that point we were just a well-oiled machine. Like we just burst into a venue. Doesn't matter what's in there. We're going to make it work, and we're going to put an event together, and that's what we did.
At that point, I felt unstoppable.
Yeah,
like it was jerry rig lights. Just like I'm just flying through what previously in Houston, in Phoenix, would have taken us together like an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30. We killed it in probably like 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. Yeah. We had to also figure out a courier service for the equipment because we couldn't be there the next day because our flight left.
Yes.
We just rocked it out.
Yep. And it all worked well. We actually used for the West Coast, we used Steven's camera gear. Because our regular camera crew that we had booked, backed out on us last minute, and I understood, like they were very concerned about what had happened to Charlie Kirk, and they were worried about attending live events, specifically with someone like Destiny, who has said some negative things about Charlie Kirk, and what were perceived as very negative comments about his assassination. And so Jeremy and his team decided to bow out. It was pretty last minute, but we still had time. So yeah, and Stephen, he ended up buying some new equipment, and he brought it all with him on tour, and he worked so hard. He's such a hardworking guy. He's one of the hardest working speakers I've ever worked with. Like, he really does care, not just to like show up and like, debate. He's very much involved. He wants everything to be great for his audience, especially the people who are coming out who are paying good hard-earned money to see him have discussions and debate. He wants to make sure it's great and good. So yeah, he worked very hard, and special shout out to Steven's merch guy, Don. Why am I blanking on his name? Scott. God, for some reason. Yeah, Scott, who does merch for Destiny, is fantastic to work with, and he was out on tour with us as well. Or did he join up? He joined up with us. Was he there
after Phoenix?
It was after Phoenix, right? He joined up in LA. Yeah. No, that was great. Scott was a big part of the team. It was Don, myself, Scott, and Steven. And every show, almost every show, was completely sold out on the West Coast, which was fantastic. And yeah, the warehouse venue worked out. We had to set up some additional lighting. I ended up setting up the PA system and ringing out all the mics and getting everything skookum with that. And and then after Seattle, it was a sigh of relief. It was a huge success. It couldn't have gone better on the West Coast, really. I mean, there were
shout out to Lauren Southern.
Oh yeah, Lauren Southern stopped by to give a hand in Seattle.
She also helped it. Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
shout out on her.
Yeah, and she also wanted to spark up a debate with me. So her and I were debating about debate and good faith helpful, the good faith helpful dialectic and marketing, and she thought the Trump banners were very hateful with the red X across Trump's face, and I said no, they're only hateful if you take them too heavy-heartedly. I mean, it's the anti-Trump debate tour. It's we're all getting together to have good faith helpful debates, and if you put the littlest bit of lightheartedness into the lens at which you view the political zeitgeist, then you should understand that this is a way to present this tour in an interesting heavy war of ideas aesthetic. And that's what we were going for.
I want to say that Lauren Southern complaining about something being hateful is rich, very rich coming from her.
She's a very good human being from my experience with her. So I don't know if she's a hateful person.
Whether she's a good human being or not is not a commentary on whether she's hateful or not.
I don't know enough about her. I don't know enough about her ideas, but yeah, go ahead.
No. Not really, no.
Well,
no, it's not.
Well, you guys can debate that on a different stream.
Yeah, sure. Material, I would say.
But yeah, once Seattle was done, Don, we went to a burger shack again, didn't we? Because it was the only thing open.
Yeah, it's
and
open.
We were frozen.
We went to two closed. We went to two We were all frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to 2 closed places. And then we finally, found our burger place that was like 24 hours. We ate a lot of burgers on tour because we were finishing so late and there's not a lot of things available. But
Nope. And I gotta say, places that have good burgers are Phoenix. Phoenix has good burgers.
yeah, hell yeah. Oh, and we also
Both nights we went.
Don and I rode around in a Waymo.
Waymo.
Or a Waymo. It's called Waymo in Phoenix, which is just a robot that drives you around. And honestly, I have to say, I'm a terrible passenger anyway. I'm very critical of how people drive. But it was one of the most relaxed rides, the multiple rides that we took. We went to the zoo in Phoenix as well on the extra day that we had. I was so relaxed being driven around by the robot. I liked it.
Yeah, it was way. For anyone who drives Uber out there and takes your job very seriously, there are a lot of Uber drivers out there that don't.
Right.
And even when you have the advanced like Uber One plan or whatever it is, like we had this guy who, remember, he asked me to do some, like the second I walk in, asked me to do some weird money exchange with him.
Yes.
It just felt super awkward.
Yeah.
We had people just, not wear deodorant. People drive over the speed limit. Oh my God, that woman, Travis, who was taking us back in LA after the Mexican food, who decided it was time to speed race across the highway.
Oh, yes. Yes, I think
it was so bad, Travis.
I said something.
You asked her. You had to ask her. Waymo was a breath of fresh air. Everyone I went into was very clean. I could set my temperature when I walked in. It was a mid-sized little SUV, so it was nice to get into. It wasn't all the low sedans, and during rush hour, it was generally cheaper than Uber. So,
right, yeah, no, it was. Anyways, it was a long adventure. It was only 5 days. It was tough being away from my. I guess he was 10 months old at that time, 9 months old. It was hard to be away from him for a whole week, but that was. I survived it.
mm-hmm.
I think I just kissed and hugged him for like an hour straight when I got back. So that kind of caught up,
He caught some of it up.
Yeah.
He grew like 13 feet.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's growing. So he turns 1 in 9 days.
Well,
happy birthday,
Jim. I'm
Jim.
coming down.
Yeah. And
big party, Travis.
Hell yeah.
Give him hugs and kisses for me.
Wait, when was it? Oh yeah, that was during the vaccine debate.
Yeah.
Wait, did the vaccine debate happen before the West Coast?
Yes, between
September,
Houston,
right
between Houston and the West Coast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The vaccine debate, now that we're done on the West Coast.
Oh my
If
goodness.
you guys haven't seen it yet, please watch it.
It was the greatest vaccine debate in the history of vaccine debates.
I really think it was. There aren't many great vaccine debates out there, and I challenge anyone to send me one that was greater than that. Like I've never witnessed such heat and animosity on stage, even before the discussion began, that I witnessed at that debate. And to just watch the video yourself, that might be the hardest event, the most difficult event to produce that I've ever produced. One of the main reasons was because demands and things kept changing on the anti-vax side. They're very difficult to deal with. They seem to have a problem with just so many different things that were brought up. Like as to like how the event was going to go, how are you going to make sure we get equal time to speak, and that kind of stuff. And usually that's not even a conversation when we set something up, but I understand that the topic is very contentious, and it's kind of, people feel like it's a do or die topic.
Pierre Corey lost his job because of it.
Right. He did. Someone says, Mr. Pangburn, I saw you guys in LA for the anti-Trump tour. It was a great show. Thanks for all the hard work you and your team did. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for commenting, and I'm glad you made it out in LA.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thanks for being flexible with the venue change. I know that's annoying to people who make plans, because usually they'll book a hotel close to the venue, and because that's a good thing to do, and it's not as long of an Uber drive and all that stuff. So it's everyone
and the parking situation at that venue, if you drove and you weren't one of the first like 20 people to get there, that was a nightmare as well.
It was. There was,
if you drove,
limited parking.
You yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the vaccine debate, Thomas was there too. Thomas, helped. He
was there, but he wasn't there.
He missed the debate itself, but yeah, we were back in Bronxlandia, by the way. This was our second event in Bronxlandia, and
way better temperature.
I watched it. It was great. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, it was.
And it was fun. Had a great time.
It was fun. Don kept time on stage, and he got to witness Pierre Corey and me having our own side debate about who should be getting what opportunity, who should be saying what. Pierre Corey looked at me and said, "They're not making an argument." And I just looked at him and I said, "Tell them, ask them to make an argument then." Like, Pierre Corey, I was like the side debate for him. If you watch that video, it was quite extraordinary. But I hate being on
Pierre
stage.
Corey, Pierre Corey, from my heart to yours, you are one of the biggest man children I've ever had the displeasure of listening to. I sat there on the side, and I've never seen a grown man so angry and so upset, thinking that the opposition in front of him is speaking too much and not giving him time to speak, when I'm sitting there with a timer and everyone collectively has 3 minutes of speaking time and you have 7.
Right. Yeah, they got more speaking time in the evening, right? So it was, it was really weird. And also when Dave Farina made his review, Professor Dave Explains, he made his review video of the event. He also featured a clip of Pierre Corey saying that he was so close, he really wanted to kill them, his interlocutors. And that made me like, I still feel this way, that I need to put like a ban, maybe a temporary ban on Pierre Corey for the Pangburn stage. Because if you're at a point where the debate or the conversation that you're trying to have is causing you to want to hurt your interlocutors, like he said he wanted to stand up and punch them in the face, like that's a real problem. You shouldn't be doing this. You're not ready. You need to work on that and get help with that. Adopt higher resolution philosophies that are grounded in maximizing well-being for yourself and those around you before you try doing this. It's not for you. That's dangerous. So yeah, that was quite alarming when I saw that on Professor Dave's video. But anyways, that being said, I think Dan Wilson was the star of the evening. Dr. Dan Wilson from Debunk the Funk. I think he brought the goods. I thought Steve Kirsch probably brought a better performance than Pierre Corey. I think it was more good faith and helpful from Steve Kirsch. So So yeah, but I think Dr. Dan Wilson just brought the goods. He is, he's delivering the scientific consensus beautifully, in a rhetorically satisfying way, in a way that is helpful, good faith, and passionate. And that's what, when I look and measure what is a good way of interacting with people, that is what I like to see in what Dan Wilson brings to the table. Dr. Dave Farina brings a more firebrand performance. I still think he's good faith. Sometimes he can be unhelpful, but the thing with him is I like to see him rein in that unhelpfulness a bit, and I think he would be much more convincing and come off as much more wise in his communications if he's able to do that. But I still think Dave did a great job too. So, but yeah, and the heckling from the audience was insane. Like there was a lady screaming "fuck you" to when Dan Wilson was trying to speak.
I'm sorry, that was me. I'm sorry.
You were that lady? I knew it. There was a lady that Don Don had to get escorted away because she found her way, and she was really drunk. She found her way to the side stage, and she was creeping towards Don Don and I. And I think she was
taking videos and pictures of us.
Yeah.
And at one point I'm like, listen, you can't be in frame. Get back down. And she's looks at me, and then she turns on her flash.
Yeah.
And starts putting tape flat. And I was like, security, can you just get her out of here?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's shocked. She was like, me? What did I do?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What did you do? I told you to leave. I also had to kick out those two guys, those streamers in Houston, who kept trying to record the event. Yeah.
Yeah, he said they couldn't stream the event, and they tried to stream the event. Little turds. Yeah. Anyways, the vaccine debate, that was a big one that happened between the first 3 anti-Trump tour events and the West Coast. So yeah, and then now we got the big showdown in Washington this Saturday. It's a big one, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope that it doesn't go in the direction of being anything that includes personal attacks on one another. I hope they attack the ideas and they focus on the ideas, and I hope it maintains a good faith, helpful, passionate consistency. And I really think that that's what Dinesh and Stephen are going to bring. And that goes down 5:00 p.m. Washington local time. And we will not be live streaming this, but we will be dropping the video soon after the event. And I got to remember, Don, to plug our GoFundMe for the 6th annual Day of Giving at the event. And I'm also going to put a little thing at the beginning of the video. Hopefully we'll get a lot of people supporting the GoFundMe. Yeah, and then we're off to London in February. So there's lots happening. It was a great year. We also were in Colorado in November, but that was part of last year's show run. Thomas, what has your experience been like working on the shows, traveling the country? You've done a lot of traveling this year.
I came back to life in early January through good medication, and I have literally been blasting my CNS all year, but I've had an amazing time. This has been one of the best, probably the best year of my life, with the travel, hanging out with my family, you guys, and just enjoying myself. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, you've been doing.
Like I said, it was one of the Go ahead, keep going.
I was just going to say, Thomas, that you've been doing amazing work for us, and you've played a key role. It's hard to imagine things like the first Bronxlandia date even happening without your hard work. So it's a big deal. I think I owe you and Don a return ticket down to Oaxaca for a getaway whenever you guys are free.
Just get me down there and we'll hang out. That's
Hell
what
yeah.
I want to do. Hanging out times a million, and I want to play with Gene for hours.
Oh yeah, nothing like every single day. my son and I, who's going to be turning 1 year in 9 days, we do 3 hours of outdoor time, crawling through the grass, crawling through the rocks, crawling through the sand, picking up sticks for the fires we build, playing with his new toys, climbing on his new little mini gym that he has. It's a climbing gym.
Yes.
I think I've been watching him like playing with sticks, digging holes, learning the different weights of different things, the textures he likes, learning that he can take a twig and break it. The coherency of that. All of that stuff has been just amazing. And, this has been a big part of my year as well, as running this company while I, have a child. This is my first year doing that. And I think it's made me, he's inspired me to want to do even more and be more focused, and but also save time for my, my immediate family, make more time for those special moments. So, yeah.
As well you should. And I'm glad you're outside with the GN a lot, because I grew up, outside. I lived in a neighborhood in Alabama, and there was just fucking woods all around us.
Yeah.
That's it. And I just explored those woods. I had a dirt bike, I made trails all the time. If you explore nature and enjoy it along with, all your, being out in nature by yourself is fun.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing when you're a kid to just be out there in the woods by yourself, just hanging out, like exploring, and I hate it when kids don't get to have that part. That's not all you need, but that's a good little part of childhood, is exploring nature.
I had the same thing. I would be on the rocks behind my house, like smash bugs, or like going around like just splitting rocks, breaking pieces of wood. Then I would ride my bike around the neighborhood. I would go into like the adjacent forest area and just walk around, look at like trash, newspapers, just I would like talk to myself for hours as a kid, just like
that
navigating.
Connects us to existence, to nature itself. It's fun to be around it. It's comforting. It's peaceful. There's all kinds of things that come from being in nature.
Yeah.
That are awesome.
Yeah.
So when you're a child, you're inundated with that, especially if you live in an area like me or Travis or something like that, where it's woods everywhere. I mean, Don, what was it like for you, bud?
It was similar. I think I had a lot of like, I don't know if you guys had this. There was also like an edge of fear, because you're alone. Like when you're alone in those areas, there's like an edge of fear. I'm a kid. I'm like 6, 7 years old, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Like you have a sense of almost a little responsibility. I gotta be home before it gets dark.
Yeah.
I need to do right. That teaches you something as a kid. For me, it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up in the middle of the woods on the edge of a village in British Columbia, Canada, and it was bear country, cougar country, elk country. We would see herds of elk while walking to the bus stop from where we lived, and lots of building fires, splitting firewood, getting firewood ready for the winter, and hunting and fishing and playing music, and it's the nature thing. I don't know what it is, but I've been building a lot of fires lately, And there is something so fulfilling about being back outside building fires again. It's and to do it with my son and to see him experiencing it. I blow on the fire. This is how I signal to him that it's hot. I go, and now when he sees fire, he goes, so he blows on the fire as well, signaling to me that he understands that, it's something to do with that, whether he understands.
Can you tell me he also brings little sticks to put inside of it? He hands you sticks.
He finds little sticks to me, watches me put them in the fire, claps his hands, goes and finds more. Yeah, he's manipulating full-size, adult-size shovels and brooms now. He really wants to play with my axe, but he's not quite old enough for that. And my machete. It's like, no, not quite yet. Maybe when he turns 1, he can start playing with the machete.
For everybody there on YouTube is going to try to clip this or whatever insanity. It's a joke.
Yes,
it's a joke. God damn YouTube psychos.
Yeah. But anyways, it's been a fantastic year. We're going to finish it off with this event and the 6th annual Day of Giving, which is the thing I look for. Honestly, out of all the events I've ever done, the thing that fulfills me most at the end of the day is our philanthropic efforts that I want to do more often, that we end up doing at the end of each year at Christmas time. I've already watched Muppets Christmas Carol like 4 times. I can tell people that it's because I wanted Gian to see it and he likes the Muppets. No. It's because that helps me get in the spirit, in the mood, and I'm all amped up for this year. I hope we can meet our donation goal. I gave you guys the link to donate to the 6th annual Day of Giving. We are about $800 away from our goal. And I think that's great. And now we have this summary of the year, we can look back on it if we ever are arguing about details.
Yep. And this will verify that I'm right. So.
Yeah, Don. I think Don remembers. I had already forgot about the whole Wi-Fi box thing, but that's because I didn't have to deal with it. Don did. Oh, and the Halloween candy we bought, and
oh yeah, that was. I remember Travis was like asking me, "What kind of Halloween candy we should buy?" I'm like, "You think it's enough?" I'm like, "Travis, why are we spending $80 on Halloween candy, dude?" And he's like, "No, we have to get it." I ended up carrying those like extra 10 pounds of Halloween candy the whole trip. Okay. And that's buckets. You also bought buckets. We had to take buckets from city to city. I flew on a plane with buckets of Halloween candy.
That's why you make the big pesos, man. That's why you make the big pesos.
That's why I make the big pesos.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who will see this video or drops by. If you aren't able to give to the 6th the annual Day of Giving here at Pangburn, get out there in your communities and do a great work. Get out there. It doesn't have to be during the holidays at Christmas time. At some point throughout the year, just do one great work out in your community. And a great work can be something as little as buying a few cases of Mr. Noodle or instant ramen and bringing them out to people who need them. That can be a great work too. Just do something. I'm asking you to do this once. That is
actually one of the greatest works.
Yeah. Do this once throughout the year. I tried to do it, many times. We do this big giveaway event, but I try to, make it at least once a month, remind myself I got to give to the community somehow. So, try making that circle wider and wider and wider. I know, but do it proportionally so that you don't harm yourself financially or from a resource perspective while doing it. Maximize well-being for yourself and those around you is my moral quest. And I think that's the good life is is right there. So thanks everyone. Don, I'll see you tomorrow. Right?
I'll see you tomorrow at 3.
I'm flying at I have a 7:30 flight out of Oaxaca, Mexico here, and I will get into Washington D.C. for anyone who wants to show up to the airport and do me harm. I will be at the Washington D.C. airport at around 3:00.
I'm going to be leaving at around 10 in the morning.
Sweet.
And I'll be driving. Hopefully, I'll be able to get you from the airport if there's not too much traffic.
Yeah. If not, I'm close.
To the hotel.
I'm actually close as fuck to the hotel. Like that airport is
DC
super
small.
close.
DC small. Yeah, DC small.
And we're gonna go yell at Donald in the White House as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put my balls in his mouth.
Don's gonna put his balls in his mouth. Who's gonna top that? We'll see if Destiny can on Saturday. All right, thanks guys. Awesome. This was a huge year. I wonder what the hell we're gonna get up to next year. At least we know we'll be in London.
A lot of cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
Definitely setting up some chairs.
Thomas, who do you have some people coming up for your show? Who's coming on?
We do. So right now, everybody that is going to be on the show is absolutely slammed busy because holidays and grading papers and all that kind of fun stuff. There are guests lining up, and the first should be Amy L. Thomason. She is an ontologist and a metaphysician. She's awesome. She's a very sweet person. Should be the first or second week of January. We're still working that out, waiting to hear back from her. So, yeah, that's when we'll be starting up.
Awesome. Right on. I'm looking forward to that. So Thomas is going to be bringing back his show where he's going to be talking to high-level intellectuals, authors, professors from around the world. They're going to be coming into our Discord server. So make sure you join us on Discord. I'm going to give you guys the link. If you can't find the link for some reason, you can always just Google Pangburn Universe Discord server. Or you can just go to our YouTube channel, and it's one of the main links up on the channel. But anyways, that's all for now. Donate to our Day of Giving, pang-burn.com/philanthropy. And we will see everyone in Washington, D.C. on tomorrow. Well, on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
All right.
No, on Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow, Travis. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye.